Are you pretty confident with a tool in no code? Maybe you're really good at Airtable or Zapier or SmartSuite or Make or any of the other hundreds of tools in the no code space. Well, have you considered building a business with that knowledge that you have? There is a massive need for people with skills in no code, and you can start making a substantial amount of income either as a side hustle or full time, leveraging the information you already know. So, if understanding what your different revenue options are inside of the no-code consulting space is of interest to you, stick around and let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Gareth. I am the owner at Gap Consulting, and over the past 5 years, we have grown Gap Consulting to be $1 million a year service business that helps others in the no-code space. But today I want to talk to you about becoming a no-code consultant of your own, because frankly, there's no way that my brand could possibly serve everybody in this space. There are too many different tools, too many different niches, and we can't be everywhere at once. So instead, I would like to extend some of this knowledge to you so that you can get up to speed more quickly as a no-code consultant yourself, leveraging some of that information that you already know in terms of how to implement great solutions in these tools. So, before we get going on the actual revenue streams topic of this video, I want to quickly invite you to join me for my 5-day crash course. This crash course is going to help you make your first $1,000 online, whether you are an experienced no-code consultant or you're just kind of dipping your toe in the water. It would be great to go through the fundamentals of understanding who you serve, how you serve them, and that's exactly what I'm going to teach you in that 5-day crash course. So grab that at the link below or visit me at built2scale.io. That's the number 2. So let's go ahead now and hop on into the heart of this video. We've got to talk about the main topic at hand, which is all the different revenue streams that you can create as a no-code consultant. Now, I'm going to start with the biggest one, and this is the one that I think very often people kind of want to just glaze over, and this is where the lion's share of our revenue comes from every month at Gap Consulting, and that is from the actual delivery of services. Now, the reason I think a lot of people want to skip this is because it's not very sexy in today's world to talk about how you actually had to work and implement a solution for somebody. Everybody's looking for passive income streams or ways they can build something and just generate money consistently on the side. And while passive income streams are great and I definitely support them, I don't think it's where you should start as a no-code consultant, specifically because there's massive demand for people who can actually do the work. In order to drive this point home, imagine yourself in the shoes of your would-be clients. Imagine that you've decided to become a SmartSuite consultant and you're not exactly sure how you want to start. Well, in fact, you're going to find that a lot of your clients are so busy running their own businesses that they don't necessarily have the time to implement these tools themselves. So, very often, the easiest sale that you'll make is actually your time and saying, hey, let me implement this for you. So, yes, a lot of money comes from actually providing the service, but the lion's share of that section is going to come from actually building out custom solutions for clients. And this is really intense. This means that you have to dive deep with your client, get an understanding of what their business process and workflow looks like, and then implement a tool using no-code solutions, whether that's SmartSuite, Airtable, or whatever you choose, any different tools out there in the no-code space. But you have to then tweak those tools and set them up so that you can support the very specific workflow that this client has put before you. So this is a very intense, as I said, type of service, and part of that means that you're going to be able to charge a higher dollar amount, which is in some ways really beneficial as you're starting out a new side hustle or a new company. Because in order to reach, let's say, $10,000 or $20,000 a month of revenue, you only need to sell a few of these services because you're going to be selling them at $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 a pop. And so it doesn't take very much to get you where you need to go in terms of revenue. Now, still in the services bucket is our second subtopic, and it's a different type of service that you can provide aside from building custom projects and really taking them from start to finish, you might choose to additionally offer some hourly consulting. Hourly consulting can be done really simply with a Calendly link. You can set up a Calendly link on a website and insist that in order to book time with you, that people pay you for making that reservation. So this is a great way for you to say, hey, I can help you troubleshoot your system. Maybe you just need a few tweaks here and there, or you're stuck building an automation, or you can't figure out some integration that you're trying to set up. That's fine. Book an hour with me. This is a much smaller ticket, right? You're talking about taking a $5,000 custom service in our first option all the way down to a couple $100 an hour on individual incremental little basis, but it's still a big portion of revenue. On that note, be sure to stick around until the end of this video, because at the end, I'm going to be sharing with you our actual revenue split so that you can have an idea in terms of how much money Gap is bringing in as a company and what our split is in these different elements or services. So to get back on track with services, let's now talk about the third type of service that you can offer, and that is that passive income section. And this is where we start getting into courses and coaching and online trainings. Now, this is something that I was able to do early on inside of my evolution at Gap Consulting. But one mistake that I see a lot of new consultants make is just jump to this way too quickly. And a big reason that I would caution against that is, number one, you may not have built up a large enough audience yet in order to sell these different courses. And number two, you haven't necessarily defined your own process yet. This is probably the biggest reason I think a lot of courses fail, is that course creators go out to build a course and they don't really have anything special that they know about a topic yet. You might be incredible within the tools that you freelance or consult in. And I don't mean to take away from that in any way, shape, or form. But if you don't have your own system that's been battle tested over and over and over again across multiple different clients, then what are you really teaching inside of your courses? So to give you an example, when I built my course inside of Gap Consulting, the course was an economical approach for people who couldn't hire me to build the project for them for $5,000. So basically saying, hey, we can do this for you for 5 or 10 grand, or if you don't have that budget, well, maybe instead you can invest your time in lieu of dollars, and now you can study and learn how to do this yourself. And so inside the course, I basically taught them the steps that I was going to take if I had worked with them one-on-one, but now they have to go through that themselves. Now, of course, you do your best in these courses, but they're never quite as good as working with you one-on-one, so there's a big difference in value here, which is why it's always priced much, much lower. Now, that being said, there are some huge benefits to selling a course online, the biggest of which is the cost to produce. You will incur all of the costs of production of your course up front. But once it's built, then it's fairly easy and inexpensive to maintain. So every time you sell a course for $500, $700, $1,000, well, you don't have many costs associated with that sale. So it's really adding a lot of profit to your bottom line, which is, of course, a big reason that we're in business, is to extract profit from what we're selling. Now, compare that to the other sides of things where we're actually producing or providing a one-on-one service, whether that's hourly or in a project setting. This is going to be a lot different because we have a massive cost of labor. Assuming that we're not doing all the work ourselves as we grow and expand our businesses, then of course it's going to get to the point where we have to bring in talented individuals who can step up and deliver on those services that we've promised. And in order to attract good talent, of course, you have to pay good money. So the cost of providing those services is always substantially higher, which is one of the benefits to building a course. But again, I caution you, don't do that before you're good and ready. Now, as a general benchmark, I think that you should wait until you're at least at $20,000 a month recurring in your consulting business before you start looking at expanding into courses. Now, there are two completely separate revenue streams that we've seen at Gap Consulting, and part of this is because of the fact that we market through YouTube. So our YouTube channel, of course, is designed to provide massive value for free to the overall no-code community, but it has an added benefit of attracting new people to our business as well. So one of the ways that we make additional money at Gap Consulting is through affiliate income. Now, I want to caution you that similar to building courses, affiliate income isn't really going to produce all that much for you until you've established a bit of an audience. So when I was first starting out, the number of people who clicked on my affiliate links at Airtable was practically zero. It was maybe 1 or 2 a month who would click on my link. And of course, as you may know, Airtable's affiliate program is kind of lackluster. It only gives us $10 worth of Airtable credit for everybody who clicks on that link. So I wasn't earning much from that at all. But as we've grown, we found additional partners to work with in the no-code space. SmartSuite, for example, has an incredible affiliate program where they offer 40 to 50% of all revenue for the first year through affiliate income. That is an incredibly generous amount. So somewhere in the middle of those two, $10 in credit versus 50% of revenue for the first year, is generally where you're going to find yourself for most no-code tools. Just a little bit of anecdotal knowledge here. I have a friend who also has a no-code consulting business, and he makes a clean $10,000 every month through an affiliate program for the tool that he consults in, which is Asana and Pipedrive. And his $10,000 earned up front comes from 20% revenue share on the tools that he consults in. So it's fairly typical that most at a minimum will be around that 20% affiliate income. So this is another thing you might consider when you're niching down to choose what particular software you want to work with. Make sure that there's a decent affiliate program, because as you've grown, a substantial amount of your income can actually come from that affiliate income. Now, the last income stream that I want to talk to is really kind of that miscellaneous one. And for us, things go into this miscellaneous category, such as YouTube revenue, or maybe the occasional sponsored video on our channel. So this is a fairly small portion of our revenue every month. And as I said, I will be sharing at the very end our different splits and how much we earn from all these different things. But on average, we're not seeing a whole heck of a lot of money coming from this particular thing. So YouTube ads don't pay all that well. A lot of those sponsored videos don't really see any traction until you've amassed quite a bit of following. So again, this probably isn't the place that you want to start, but it is something you can keep in mind as you build and scale your no-code consulting business. Now, as promised, I want to share with you how much Gap Consulting does in terms of percentage every month on these different revenue streams. So the big one, of course, is that development. I'm talking about services here where you're doing project work with the client directly, and it's generally over a couple of weeks, if not even longer. For Gap Consulting, we're doing approximately 55 to 65% of our revenue every month, generally around the 55% mark, is coming from this development portion. So a lot of the revenue, the majority of the revenue at Gap Consulting is coming from working on those projects with clients. Now, the second biggest portion of our revenue comes from one-on-one consulting in the hourly capacity. This can range anywhere between, say, 25 to 30% of our monthly revenue. So it really depends on the month, but generally right around 25% is what we're going to see on the hourly consulting side. Now, the third service that we provide are our courses, and for this we see about 15% of our monthly revenue. So depending on the size of your company, of course, that might flex, go up or down a bit, but for us it's right around 15%. So again, just as a reminder, this is one of the big reasons I don't suggest starting with this. Many people will be finding an easier time and a larger budget to pay you for some one-on-one, whether that's in project or in hourly options. Now, the remainder of our revenue usually comes from these miscellaneous things. So, of course, the other sections might ebb and flow month to month, but generally by the end of the month, we have about 5% of our income in miscellaneous things like YouTube ads or sponsored videos on our channel, or various other partnerships that we've built up over the years. This, of course, includes affiliate income as well. And for us, because of the fact that Airtable is the software that we started with. Our affiliate income stream is much further behind than a lot of the other no-code consultants in the space. As I mentioned, I know plenty of other no-code consultants, one of whom is making over 5 figures a month in affiliate income alone. So there's definitely a lot of potential here, but of course, in our situation, because we focused on Airtable first and foremost as a company, it's been a little bit lackluster because their affiliate program doesn't really offer all that much. So if I were starting over today from scratch, perhaps I would reevaluate and align myself with a different company that has a much stronger affiliate program. Now, ultimately, if you make that decision for yourself, you're going to have to choose a software that you feel really strong and passionate about. So let that drive your decision making and allow that affiliate income to be the bonus or the icing on the cake for you. I know we covered a lot in this video, so if you have any questions, something I didn't answer that you're curious about, please feel free to drop that question below in the chat and I will respond to that as soon as I can. And of course, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on future thoughts about no code and what's happening in the no code community. That's it for this one. I will see you in the next video. If you're ready to break into no-code consulting, I welcome you to join me for my 5-day challenge available on our website at built2scale.io. You can sign up for that challenge by putting in your name and email address, and once you're all set there, you'll be taken right to the first lesson. This 5-day challenge is going to help you make your first $1,000 online as a consultant so that you can start helping other people with no code. If that's of interest, be sure to swing on by, and I'll see you in the next video.